All right. Welcome everybody to today's webinar titled Resources for a Diverse Veteran Community. Today is October 22nd, 2020. So before we start, just wanted to give you a quick rundown of what the day is going to look like. We're going to have some presenters talk to us about some resources that you as a veteran can find here in California and how CalVet can actually help you out. For those of you who want to participate in the questions and answers portion at the end of the webinar, please direct your questions to the CalTAP question screen name you see there on the side. We will house all those questions there up until the end and then use those to facilitate the questions and answers portion at the end. All right, and this is just some instructions that you probably received last night or today through an email, along with the resource book and a link map. These are just instructions on how you could utilize the chat here through Zoom. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with a quick CalTAP overview. My name is Michael Cisneros. I'm a training coordinator with CalVet. I've been with CalVet since last November, so about a year now. I'm also a veteran. I was separated from the Air Force back in 2007 and right away went back into school. And so when I was in school, I did a lot of my research and studying on the veteran community and some of the barriers I faced. So this is a perfect job for me, I feel, helping out veterans in a different way. So let's go ahead and get started and let you know how CalTAP could assist veterans here in California. So what is CalTAP? Well, CalTAP is a transition assistance program that is designed to inform and connect veterans of all eras to their earned state and federal benefits, as well as provide continuous support as their needs change over time. And so what we're really focusing on is cradle to the grave treatment for the veteran after they separate from the military. So we collaborate with federal, state, and community-based organizations, and we've developed 4 different pathways that help our veterans navigate those benefits available to them. And those pathways are core curriculum, an education pathway, employment pathway, and entrepreneurship pathway. Now we do have a 5th pathway for service providers. I'm not going to talk about that too much, but if you do know anybody within your community, or know anybody in general who wants to work with veterans, feel free to send them to our website to check out some of the programs we have available for those individuals. So this information can be found on your resource book. The resource book was sent out to you in a PDF yesterday through email, or today if you received that today. If this was an in-person presentation, you each would have a hard copy of this book sitting in front of you. But since we are doing this through webinar, we're sending the link through email. We could also post the PDF through the chat here in a little bit. You can also find this information on our website too. So if you go to calvet.ca.gov, you're going to come to our webpage, which looks like this. At the bottom of this page, you can actually find a link for the PDF copy of the resource book. So if you didn't get that link through email, or for some reason you're having issues downloading it here through the chat, just go to our website and you can find it there. But information that we talk about today regarding California benefits can be found on our CalTAP webpage. So you can find the CalTAP banner there in the middle of the screen. And when you click on that link, it takes you to our webpage. Now, before I go ahead and go forward talking about the benefits available, I just want to bring your attention to something that we've been doing over the past couple months since quarantine started. So since March, we actually started transitioning to a strictly webinar process. And with that, you can find some of those past webinars that we've already completed here on our webpage. So at the bottom of the screen right there, you can see the archive link. When you click on that archive link, you're taken to a page that looks like this. And as you can see, those are the past webinars that we've completed already. We talk about everything from suicide prevention, financial literacy, employment opportunities, anger management. So lots of good resources for our veterans to take with them if they need them, especially right now. So how can I use CalTAP online? CalTAP is available online 24 hours a day. When you click on it, you're taken to the pathways page. The pathways have different modules in each pathway, and those modules focus on different topics related to the pathway. And so with this example, we'll click on core curriculum, and with core curriculum, we're taken to our modules page that looks like this. Here you can find everything from how to enroll into the VA healthcare, how to file claims and compensation. I believe there's a financial literacy module. But if you're just interested in what benefits are available to you, then you'd want to click on Module 5, California Benefits. That will take you to a page that will take you to the lessons page. But before we go there, this is a PDF copy of what you would find on the website. So let me actually go forward because I believe, they don't have the page. Okay. So when you do click on the California benefits module, you are taken to a lessons page, and on the lessons page, you could actually find a link for a benefits overview. And this is what that looks like. It's just basically a PDF copy of brief descriptions of the different kinds of benefits that are available to you as a California benefit or as a California veteran. If you wanted more information regarding those benefits, you could always go to your resource book or just go to our website and you can find out more information regarding the specific benefits. So what are those California benefits? Well, on the resource book, this is going to be chapter 1, starting on page 13. Everything that we discussed today can be found right there. Also, those PDF copies that I told you about just recently. This is another one that you could definitely find on our website. But we're going to go ahead and start off first with one of the most popular benefits that we have for veterans is the tuition and fee waiver. Now, something I want to make clear with the tuition and fee waiver is this is actually meant for dependents, child dependents of a veteran with a disability. And so with the college tuition and fee waiver, it's waiving just tuition and fees for any state-funded school. So that's any UC, CSU, or California Community College here in California. It doesn't cover books, it doesn't cover supplies, and it doesn't cover any other school-related fees. And so the idea with the college tuition fee waiver is that it saves the actual veteran over $35 million a year in tuition and fee costs, or the actual veterans that much in tuition and fee costs. So as you know, as a military member, you do have the option of transferring your education benefits, your federal education benefits to your dependents. Well, this tuition and fee waiver kind of is there to help our veterans not have to make that choice, right? So if there's a tuition and fee waiver available to their dependent, then they may not have to consider giving away any of their education benefits. And so that helps them save money, especially if they're trying to send their kid to school. They're saving money on their tuition and fees. So there's 4 different programs where we're seeing that most of our veterans fall within Plan B. There's Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D. Most of them fall in Plan B because with Plan B, you need a disability rating between 0 and 100. And so because it's such a broad spectrum, we see a lot of veterans fall into it. They do look at the child's income level just to make sure that they are underneath the requirements. And I believe right now, or the last time we checked, the dependent has to make less than $13,000. And so they'll check that out. If you have a wife that wants to take part in the tuition and fee waiver, if you have a spouse that would want to take part in the tuition and fee waiver, That may be possible. However, you have to see if you're eligible for Plan A, Plan C, or Plan D first. If you're not eligible for any one of those plans, then Plan B but you are eligible for Plan B. That's just for child dependents. We also have DMV programs that help our veterans or help individuals identify as a veteran. So there's a veteran driver's license where you get the word veteran printed on your driver's license. That helps you so that you can get those discounts or at the restaurants or the stores. And it also allows you to walk around without having to carry any personal information or your DD Form 214. There's also honoring veterans license plates. The Honoring Veterans License Plate Program. This is a program where anybody in California could take advantage of. Allows you to add any branch of service or organization or emblem of choice onto your license plate. And what the proceeds for this program actually go towards veteran services here in California. And then finally, a motor vehicle registration fee waiver. This is for individuals with a 100% disability rating, and it has to affect mobility. If you are interested or think that you may qualify for this benefit, I would definitely suggest talking with your local county veteran service office, and they can run down eligibility requirements just to make sure that that you do qualify for it. For those of you who enjoy being outdoors, we have a fishing and hunting license at a reduced annual cost for veterans with a 50% disability rating or higher. With this fishing and hunting license, you do not have to be a California resident. So you just have to be honorably discharged and have that 50% or more disability rating. The state park pass, you are able to enter into the state parks at no cost. This is a lifetime benefit. You do have to renew it every 5 years. This also requires an honorable discharge and a disability rating of 50% or higher, except you do have to be a California resident to take part in this program. All right, tax programs for those individuals who have a disability rating and want to start their own business or are trying to take advantage of property tax exemptions. We do have programs for those individuals. What I would say, though, I won't talk about those today, but what I would encourage you to do if you are interested in these programs is to talk with your local county tax assessor because requirements are going to be different depending on where you're at regionally. All right, Calvet Home Loans is another big program that we have, a popular program that we have. This is for any veteran who wants to purchase a home here in California. So anybody wherever you separated from, wherever you grew up, if you want to come to California and purchase a home, you do have the ability to take advantage of the Calvet Home Loan. It includes low fees, low rates, low to no down payments, flexible guidelines, and a comprehensive home protection plan. Let's see, what else do I have? All right, so most honorably discharged veterans and active duty service members are eligible. And you do not need to have any of the USDVA entitlement to qualify. So that's what I have for that. All right, Calvet Women Veterans, we do have a program. Actually, we'll have Cindy Garcia speak to you guys in a bit about the Calvet Women Veterans Program. This provides information, advocacy, outreach, and support for our California women veterans. They've also partnered with the California Women Veteran Leadership Council just to give them more opportunity for that population. There's a roster that you could sign up for so that you could be more aware of the events coming up or some of the information, new information that comes out. But like I said, Cindy will go ahead and talk about that in a little bit, and she'll explain more about that roster. This is our website. If you go to our calvet.ca.gov website, you can find the Women's Veterans page there. Contact information, shoot them an email or give them a call if you would like to hear more information. The same kind of program for minority veterans, a program that offers information, advocacy, outreach, and support. With this program, they're also helping unnaturalized veterans with citizenship and naturalization services. And Jose Ayon will be talking in a little bit about this program. So the Minority and Underrepresented Veterans website can also be found on the CalVet website. Or I'm sorry, the Minority and Underrepresented Veterans webpage can be found at the CalVet website. All right, it's CalVet Homes for Long-Term Care. Maybe you're not considering this kind of benefit right now. Maybe you have somebody in your family, a veteran who is looking for long-term care, or somebody in your community. But there are different 8 locations here in California, all the way from Chula Vista down south to Redding up north. These locations provide long-term care for veterans, offering medical, dental, rehabilitation, and social activities. State cemeteries, probably another thing that you're not really thinking about right now. But if you have somebody that you know that is looking for this information, there are 3 different state cemeteries here in California. There's one in Seaside, California, which is right outside of Monterey, the Central Coast Cemetery. There's one in Redding, the Northern California Veteran Cemetery. And then there's the Yountville Veterans Home Cemetery, which is in Yountville, California, right outside of Napa. The requirements to be buried here in the cemeteries are the same as the requirements to be buried in a federal VA cemetery. All right, so before I finish off, I just want to kind of go over some common websites that you'd want to probably be familiar with as a veteran here in California. The first one is va.gov. va.gov almost acts like a hub for veterans. So for those of you who want to enroll in VA healthcare, there's a healthcare link that takes you straight to where you need to go to do that. If you're trying to apply for disability compensations, there's another section that gives you that information. Any education or military records you could also find there too. ebenefits.gov is another helpful website to attend. I know when I was a student, I was coming here every month, almost every semester, just to make sure that they were cutting the checks like they said they would, right? I was receiving BAH, I was receiving tuition assistance. And so for those who are receiving that kind of benefit, or maybe are receiving disability compensation, if you go to ebenefits.gov and create an account here, this is where you can find out whether or not that information is processed. And finally, My Healthy Vet. This is a pretty cool website for those who are participating in the VA healthcare. With this website, you could check out your health records, you could speak with your primary care physician and create appointments. And then you could also refill prescriptions. All right, so that was a quick overview of the CalTAP program. There's a ton more out there that you may be eligible for. So please take a look at that resource book. This is my contact information. If you prefer to email me to ask some of those questions, feel free to do that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Marlene. Marlene is the local interagency network coordinator for CalVet, and she's going to let you know how links assist veterans here in California. So go ahead, Marlene.
Hi. So one of the really cool things I think California does is they have representatives in select areas. And what we are local interagency network coordinators. So we find networks and we coordinate and all of that thing. But what I find fascinating is that we're all experts in the local area, and each local area provides various different services and nonprofits that other areas of California may not. So that said, next slide, I'd like to go into some of the things that we do as links. Here you can see the different areas of California. We have Northern, we have Central Coast, Bay Area, we have Central Valley, San Diego, and my favorite area, the big red area, is the Inland Empire, and that's my area. There's Orange County, and San Diego. So looking through all of that, oh, and LA County, of course. Looking through all of that, each area represents a different kind of what I would say would be like a micro subculture for the state of California. Each area's subculture provides different resources based on what they feel the veterans need the most. Next slide. So what we do as Links is we travel throughout the region and we provide outreach to service members, veterans, and their families. We make referrals and work directly with established service providers. We assist with local emergencies and provide leadership and advocacy to the communities. Sounds like a lot. So when we talk about the local emergencies, yesterday I was in Porterville, where I was assisting the Central Valley Link with the local assistance center out there due to the fires that we have over in Sequoia, and assisting veterans in that area. We make referrals. That means like if there is a veteran, even one veteran, who needs to talk to a service provider, or they're having issues in a certain area, such as homelessness, or if they were just having trouble getting a VA appointment, I could pick up the phone, call somebody I know in that department, and they could assist that veteran directly. So we provide those outreaches. We go to bases, we go to community colleges, but that was all pre-COVID. Now we do a lot of that remotely, as you can tell. I'm still working with the colleges, but it's on Zoom. So provide leadership in local communities. We meet with many different agencies, and what we do is they say, oh, there's Calvet. Let's go ask her. She knows what's going on. She's always in the know. She has so many different connections. So we do advocate directly on particular veterans in different ways. And I've actually sat with a veteran waiting for an appointment because they were scared. So, reaching out to us, it helps because we have those direct contacts. Next slide. But we also connect the veterans to their benefits. So we have contacts in so many different agencies and EDD, the county offices directly in the CVSOs, in the healthcare centers, in the vet centers, all throughout. I've had emergency circumstances where people have called me. I've gotten a hold of suicide prevention right on the spot and had them transferred. And I've had people call me because they couldn't have furniture for their house, and I referred them over to Heroes Warehouse out in Rancho Cucamonga, and they were able to get furniture same day. So many different things that we're able to do, and I feel so blessed to be able to do that with the veterans and work directly with the agencies and report it back to Sacramento and let them know what your needs are. Next slide. We also have a huge list of local resources. I'm going to provide some today. Go ahead, next slide. 211. I know the director over in Riverside. I have several contacts in that agency that I'm able to just reach out to. But if you don't just call 211, you never know what they provide. And they provide great services. They can put them in counseling programs. They can put them in transition assistance programs. They can help them with housing, food, rent, resources. It just depends. So always reach out to 211 first, and don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm a veteran. They have special people directly at 211 that are special. They have the special resources. Just that's their job, is to help vets. Next slide. Here's a directory of homeless resources and shelters in the area. Always go to homelessshelterdirectory.org and see if you can find it, because there are so many different things that people come across, and life can change in such a drastic way in an instant. Especially with COVID, people lose their jobs, and they have a few days to get out, or don't have a place at all. So this is such a great resource. They also provide information about food pantries in the local area, and treatment centers, and various different things for issues, everyday life that we experience. Next. So also, here's a good one, because I think having education is really important, and having work is important, and having people to take care of your kids while you're at work or going to school is important. And Riverside County Office of Education helps to reach out to that. And they help with financial, they help with legislative, leadership things, and the early child care intervention. This unit is great. They provide quality child care, so you don't have to worry about what's going on with your kids. You can go to work. Next slide. So here's my information. I like to put out my direct cell. So if anybody would like to reach out to me directly, maybe you like something what I said, or you have more questions, you want to go into it further, go ahead and give me a call or text. I may not be able to answer if I'm in a Zoom or if I'm in a meeting or on the phone, but if you text or if you email, I get back to you usually within 24 hours. I want to go ahead and allow our next speaker to come on.
All right, thanks, Marlene. Appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on now to Jose. Before I pass it on to Jose, just want to encourage you guys to reach out to the links. Although Marlene works in the Inland Empire, she works closely with all the links around California. So if there's something that she can't help you out with, I'm sure she knows some resources, or she can direct you to where you should be going. So definitely use them when you get the chance. So now I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Jose Ayon. He's a program analyst for the minority and underrepresented veterans for CalVet. Go ahead, Jose.
Thank you so much, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. First off, I'd like to thank CalTAP for the invitation to just give everyone an overview on what our division does, the programs that we oversee, and of course, to provide our contact information. As Michael mentioned, my name is Jose Ayon. I'm a program analyst for the Minority and Underrepresented Veterans Division. Currently, as myself, another program analyst, one office technician, and our deputy secretary. So on behalf of my team, I'll be presenting on the next couple of slides. Next slide, Michael. So the mission of the Minority and Underrepresented Veterans Division is to ensure that all veterans have equal access to their earned benefits regardless of race, ethnic origin, religion, gender identity, or sexual orientation. We do so by promoting the usage of state and federal veteran benefits, programs, and services, and we advocate on behalf of minority and underrepresented veterans by identifying gaps in services or barriers to access. Next slide, please. Some of the programs that we oversee in our division, which we will cover in more detail in the next couple of slides, are the Pathway to Citizenship program, Tribal Veteran Outreach Program, our LGBTQ inclusion program, and a new initiative that we started this year is our Minority and Underrepresented Veterans Division roster. So the link is, as you can see on the screen, but I can also share it on the chat feature after my presentation. Next slide, please. So in 2018, we launched the Pathway to Citizenship program. It was a collaboration, a partnership with the California Governor's Office, the California Department of Social Services, and various community immigration service organizations throughout California. The goal of such workshops is to provide free legal assistance to veterans seeking citizenship and or naturalization services. A lot of folks don't know that veterans qualify for expedited citizenship naturalization services due to their time of service. So that's always a good thing when attempting to navigate this resource and this program. And through the years, veterans and their families have received assistance with citizenship and naturalization services. Usually the workshops are in person, but due to COVID restrictions, we have transitioned to webinars. So just be on the lookout for upcoming workshops regarding this particular program. Next slide, please. Our LGBTQ Veteran Inclusion Program is our second program that we oversee. Here at CalVet, our division as well believes in building a strong support system for LGBTQ veterans and their families that promotes resilience in the face of challenges. Our programs and this program as a whole provides a platform of communication, education, and outreach to effectively supplement our role of assisting and connecting LGBTQ veterans to resources available to them. Our team also assists with referrals and making sure that veterans have that support system through various service providers across California. As mentioned, we have transitioned into webinars. So two particular educational webinars that we had this year was our discharge upgrade. So we had the opportunity to partner up with Source to Plowshares and just have an educational webinar on how to get your DD 214 upgraded if you had any discharge. Of course, if the veteran applies and qualifies for that upgrade. In addition to that, we celebrated the 9th anniversary of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell Reappealment Act. Great opportunity to learn more about the appealment and just a great educational opportunity that we had to hear from our Secretary, General Beavers from the California National Guards and various veteran service organizations that were empowering our LGBTQ veterans to keep going, and of course, just to give them a background on what it was like to serve under such policy in the 90s and early 2000s. And in 2001, we'll have our leadership summit. So again, once you sign up for that roster, you'll get more information as we move into 2021. Next slide, please. Okay, so our Tribal Veteran Advocacy Training Program. This year, it was mostly focused on identifying opportunities to assist Native American veterans across California. Of course, due to COVID-19, we had a sort of transition into different efforts, but definitely a great opportunity that we had with CalOES and assisting them with natural disaster assistance. So just working between CalOES and the different tribal regions across California and making sure that they receive adequate support from that State Department. In addition, some of the future educational webinars that we would like to have and highlight will be just highlighting VA benefits and programs for Native American veterans. For example, our Native American Direct Loan Program. So again, that's also going to be in the works for later this year. And for 2021, just continuing outreach to Native American veterans living in the rural parts of California, of course, remotely and in person as we transition out of COVID-19, hopefully in the next couple of months. Next slide, please. As mentioned, our new initiative this year was our roster, our minority and underrepresented veterans roster. As member of the roster, you will receive updated information about benefits, programs, services, and resources throughout California. Your information will always remain confidential, and this is just a great opportunity to bring visitors, registrants to our websites where they can access more resources. And I think just overall, being a part of this roster, you get the insight of what our division is currently up to as far as upcoming events, different resources throughout the state of California. And we also highlight various events that are being put together by CalTAP, Veteran Service Division, and Women's Veterans. So it's just a great opportunity to stay in the loop as far as what our department as a whole is up to. Next slide, please. Here's our contact information for our division. Of course, at your service, my team will always be responsive if you reach out using our generic email address or our phone line as well. And there's our website as well. So please reach out if we can be of any assistance. Next slide, please. As mentioned, my name is Joseon, one of the program analysts. That's my direct line and email at your service. So please reach out if I can be of any further assistance. And of course, I'll put down the roster link on the chat feature and my personal my contact information as well. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Jose. So now I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Cindy Garcia. Cindy is an analyst for the Women's Veterans Program at Calvet. Go ahead, Cindy.
Thank you. So yes, I am one of the analysts in our division. Our division makes up we have 2 analysts and a deputy secretary. So we're pretty small, but we make sure that we serve our women veterans and we continue on with our mission. Next slide, please. So a lot of people actually are surprised to find that there is a Women Veterans Division. I get this all the time. Women call us and say, hey, I didn't even know that you guys existed. It's probably some of my favorite women to speak to because I'm very passionate about our mission and what we do to serve women. So what we do is we connect women with information about veterans benefits, women's specific programs and services in their area. We attend and present at various events and advocate to the public on behalf of women veterans in California. Next slide, please. So information and resources. So there are many benefits and services available to women veterans from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, especially in the area of healthcare. We can help connect you to women veterans program managers that coordinate healthcare at each of the 8 VA medical centers in California. And another great way to learn about the VA women's healthcare is the VA Women's Health Transition Training, which started, I believe, earlier this year. You can register by visiting the Center for Women Veterans website. Next slide, please. So the Women's Military History Week is the 3rd week in March that is designated as Women's Military History Week by the Governor's proclamation. There are events and celebrations that happen throughout the state during the week for our 1,443,000 California women veterans. So it's a great week to be a women veteran because there's always things happening and it's just a celebration, and it's also acknowledged by the governor of our great state of California. Next slide, please. So our monthly statewide webinars. So every month, our division hosts several webinars where you can learn about events, services, resources, and benefits for women veterans in California. These webinars are free and are open to all. You can also view our past recordings on our webpage, which is listed here, that lovely little link. Next slide, please. So our our 9th annual Women Veterans Reception. So for the past 9 years, we have had the opportunity to award many women veterans with our Calvet Women Veterans Trailblazer Award. Yesterday, we actually hosted our 9th annual Women Veterans Reception, where we awarded 4 incredible women. To learn more about our past awardees, I encourage you to read the bios of these amazing women, which is located on our website. Next slide, please. So our Women Veterans roster. So alike minority veterans, we also have our own Women Veterans roster, which you'll receive updated information about benefits, programs, and services and resources throughout California. So since launch in 2013, we have had over 17,000 women have joined. So your information will always remain confidential and it will not be shared with other entities. So we encourage you to sign up. If you have your cell phone, I put a cute little QR code right there, so make it easy for you. But if not, I will also, as Jose mentioned, I will also put our Women Veterans roster link in the chat window for you. Next slide, please. So how do you find us? So this is a little screenshot of our homepage where you can find information I just covered, and more information is also on our website at calvet.ca.gov/women-vets. Next slide, please. And that's it. So again, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to give you some information specifically on women veterans. Please contact us if you have any questions. We're always happy to help. Also, please follow us on Facebook for updated information on events and information. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Cindy. So let's go ahead and go into the questions and answers portion. This is the, oh, that's not changed. I'm sorry. This is the contact information for the presenters today. Unfortunately, that Danielle Tran was from yesterday. I'm sorry, I forgot to update that, but I could definitely put my email address in the chat for you guys if you had any questions for me. But let me go ahead and go to our chat just to see what's going on. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any questions so far. I believe right now you guys all have the ability to unmute yourselves. So if there is a question that you have and you prefer to ask it that way, feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question. If not, then we may be wrapping up soon.
Tamara would like to give a quick message to the veterans on the call today.
Yes, please. I'm sorry, Tamara. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you. I just want to tell anybody that's out there that is interested in UCR or at UCR or UC in general, that if you would like to or need to get in contact with me, I am putting my email address at the bottom, and so that I will be available to you, especially if you want any more of this information. I can send you a book if you need a tangible copy. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Tamara. So we'll wait to see if any questions come through. I'm just going to go to the next slide. These are some upcoming events that we have coming up. Obviously, most of them are taking place on college campuses through webinar, obviously. However, you don't have to be a student to attend them. So if you are interested in participating or viewing the employment services and opportunities webinar, or the Resilience Through Health and Wellbeing webinar coming up next month, you could go to our Eventbrite page and you could find the registration there. So feel free to register for them. You do not have to be a student. Okay, well, I'm not getting any questions. I don't see any questions in the chat. So let's go ahead and end it out. Thank you again for being here today, taking some time out of your day to learn a little bit more about how CalVet can assist you. I'm going to go ahead and hang around just for a bit longer, just to make sure everybody gets off okay. And there's no other questions, but other than that, you guys are free to go. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Michael.